Hello ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria development stream. Today we are going to be working on something very exciting. This is going to be possibly one of the, well, hopefully it will be one of the coolest machines in the mod, but we'll see. Didn't you say you were going to do a magnet thing? I did say that, however, I've kind of thought about it, and I think it would be a little bit too over the top. We don't need like tons of levels of ensuring it's all, concentrated and whatever. But yes, the arc furnace is going to be hopefully a very cool machine that we're going to be working on today. There is still some work to do with regards to the centrifugal concentrator, as we're not rendering any items in it yet, so that's something we'll need to do. But I might need to steal Basti at some point again for that. So we'll come back to that somewhat shortly. But today we're going to be working on the arc furnace because this is going to be used for a lot of things in the mod. Like a lot of machines are a lot of processing lines, I should say, are going to use this. So Dirty, could you check the 21.8 PR2 if you have any problems? Okay, I will have a quick look because, in fact, if that could be done before I start streaming, that would be great. There is no PR. there is no PR. There's no open PRs. Yeah, obviously if I could merge that before we get started, that'd be great, because that means just check the commit before I make the PR. You can just make the PR and mark it as a draft. That would be the easiest thing to do. Oh, Discord. I started typing the message and then I got distracted. But yes, I need to announce to Discord because I get told off if I don't. So, let's say, there you go. Okay, that's that done and dusted. It's using the wrong thumbnail. Why is it doing that? Is that something I did? That is probably something I did. Yes, it is. That is exactly something I did. Let me fix that because that's still using last stream's thumbnail, which we don't want. Even though the thumbnails are just auto-generated, because I honestly, I've tried to make a thumbnail for live streams so many times, and I just cannot come up with anything that actually looks good. So, since it's not too important anyways, I've just left it. There we go. Thumbnail updated. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, let's, why doesn't 30bot do notifications? It did and does, it's just disabled because the problem is it thinks that scheduled videos are uploaded videos, and it also thinks scheduled live streams are actual videos, so it announces as soon as it's scheduled rather than when it's actually uploaded or when it's actually live. There's probably a way to fix that. I haven't put too much time into it, to be honest. Let's look at this PR. You know what? That can be the first port of call today. we'll look at the PR. I can see there's a lot of conflicts, though, which will be a pain in the butt to solve, I'm sure. Okay, let me close some things. Here we go. Okay, let's switch to me. Oh, OBS, would you like to... Hey, it's me. You may notice my hair looks different, and that's because I got a haircut. So that's nice. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, let's have a look. 225 change files. This is gonna take years to review. Okay, so... Okay, many things have changed, huh? Oh, no. Okay, so you've reorganized a lot of things, which is going to make this very hard to keep track of everything. But that's fine. Let's do this, so we can know what we've actually seen. Yeah, are these just reorganizations as well? Or are these actual... That's the problem, right? Because IntelliJ doesn't show it as like, okay, this is moved from here to here. It just says this has been deleted, this has been added, which isn't super helpful, to be honest. But I think this looks the same. I would say probably. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, these are all going to be fine, right? I'm going to guess this is fine. I'm just going to trust you with some of this. It's going to be a matter of, like, very briefly looking over things and seeing if it looks roughly the same. I assume the game loads and everything. You can see if it's plus or minus the same number of lines, it's probably just moved. That's true, yeah. That is probably true. Like, that one's the same. This one is obviously the same. I don't know why you've done this. I don't know if this doesn't exist anymore or something. But whatever, I guess that's fine. That all looks reasonable to me. I don't know why you've added this in the PR. That's admittedly a bit weird. I don't know about this one. You can, like... We'll come back to that one. Because I don't think that should be part of this PR. I'm pretty sure. Same with all of these. Wait, why are these in there? Did I commit those? I must have accidentally committed those. I didn't mean to commit any of these files, admittedly. We'll figure that out in a minute. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I suspect most of this will be fine. Yeah. I'm not going to do this today. Just because it's not a fun thing to stream. It's literally just me reading and then pressing a button. And we will be doing that for half an hour. So we're not going to do that today. We are going to do what the stream title says we're going to do. So let's go into blocking it, because obviously we need to register a new block. We need to do the usual stuff. The boring stuff, if you will. So, here we go. Public static final. We're gonna have a, what's it called? I've already forgotten what it's called. Arc furnace. There you go. Yes. Okay. Arc furnace. You should install the Bongo Cat extension in Idea. What is that? I found it. This plugin makes Bongo Cat tap on the desk from side to side as you type on the keyboard? What does that mean, though? I think that would be very annoying and distracting. If you find a minute in Minecraft, can you show me the fluid and the shaker table, where to put the item there, and what you want it to be calculated? Sure, I can do that when we get in the game. In fact, we'll load the game now, because we're going to have a lot of errors for quite a while. So we'll do that now, we'll get that done. Or I say get it done, we'll go through it so you can have a look at it. How do I get rid of this? No, don't do that. Stop. How do I get rid of this? Oh my god. Can I not get rid of it? Oh, there you go. Weird stuff. Okay, let's run the game. And I will show you what I mean. And if we have time today, which we're not going to have time, so actually I'm not even going to say it, because we're not going to have time. This machine is going to be very complex compared to a lot of the other machines we've had. And that's going to be in quite a few ways. So obviously it's going to consume energy. And then it's going to take in, you know, your items, right? So it's going to take in multiple items. So because you could use it for alloying as well. And then it's also going to take in like some additives of some degree, like, you know, whether that be, I don't know, carbon or what else? Let me have a look. Arc furnace additives. They're probably not called additives. I would call them additives. Lime, dolomite, fluorospar, and carbon-based materials. Well, there you go then. Actually, I've just found a very useful image. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to take in those, and then it's also going to have water, because it needs to be cooled, right? There needs to be some like cooling fluid. So water for now. Who knows what we'll have, you know, later on. And then oxygen as well, but oxygen will be optional. That might be like if you want to like increase efficiency or something, you can give it oxygen, maybe, is what I was thinking. I think that makes the most sense anyways. Anyways, yes, Basti. So what I wanted to kidnap you to do was in the shaking table, you put in your thing, and you see this water here. It goes down, right? The level goes down as it goes across, but I don't think the volume stays the same. And Ilya told me I have to make the volume stay the same. Now I don't know how to make the volume stay the same, so that's why I need to steal you so that you can make the volume stay the same. How do you get fluid in? You pump it in with water. You see I have water pipe, which comes down to here, and then water pump, which has energy from cable, which comes from wind turbine. And that's how you get fluid in. And then also, if you're, you know, if you manage to do that quickly, we need items to spin around in here when it's running. Like if I do this, see how the whole thing spins. the items need to also spin in here. But they need to be like attached to the sides, or it needs to look like they're attached to the sides, because the point is, you know, the centrifugal force is pushing them against the sides. You know. So if you have time, then that's something you can do as well. But if not, then, you know, that's fine. I don't know why I tried to save the world. That's not gonna work. So yeah, there's a lot of things that need to happen inside of the arc furnace. I got water in the pump, but it's not getting in the table. The input is on the top. You have to input the water on the top. I think it's anywhere on the top. I don't think it matters, but just on the top, yeah. So I was thinking with the arc furnace that we would have like 2 modes, right? And you can switch between the modes. That's my kind of plan. So you have like a, I guess like a, or maybe 3 modes. I guess you could have like 3 modes, right? So you could have just like smelting, right? So it just turns like, you know, ores into ingots or whatever. You could have alloying, which turns, you know, iron and carbon into steel. And then maybe you could have like recycling, which maybe turns, for example, like an iron chest plate back into like the full like 8 iron or something. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you think that's a good idea or not. But that's kind of what's going around in my head at the moment. Anyways, block properties. So we need to have, I'm just going to copy this actually because I'm lazy. So I will copy this one. Boom. Okay. Then we need to say the multi-block as well, and then this is also the arc furnace. Why is this complaining? Does it need another bracket? Yes, it does. So it also needs a multi-block, of course. So we'll do dot multi-block properties, and we'll say multi-block pipe init dot arc furnace. Nice and simple. Okay. Then let's just create this as well. Of which, hopefully, thank you, Copilot. That's what I wanted. Then we have the arc furnace. Now, in terms of the size, I think my plan is to have it be, I want it to be quite large, right? Admittedly quite large. I'm thinking probably like 4x4 and then a height of like probably like 5, so like 4x4x5 maybe. So how big would that be? So 4x4x5, that would be 80, so that would be 79. Why not make it 4x4x4? Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea, and I think you'll see why when we do the model. I mean, it could be, but it needs to be taller, really, than it is, like, wide. I mean, it doesn't need to be, but I think it would make sense if it was. So I'm gonna do that, which is 4x4x5. And then do that. We need to do the voxel shape as well. So voxel shape. Can I do a shape that's 4x4x5? Is there an easy way to do that? You know what the problem is? I mean, it's not necessarily a problem. It's a little bit of a problem. But with having it be like 4x4x5, it means that the controller isn't centered. Because there's no center block, right? So we can't have a centered controller, which is actually a weeny bit problematic, because for something like the shape, that becomes a pain in the butt. Okay. For now, we'll just do shapes, voxel shapes, dot, full cube. But we'll come back to that one. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do the voxel shape for the thingy thing. For the what's it called? Centrifugal concentrator. We never did the voxel shape for this. To be fair, we also haven't done the OBJ model. Let me do some to-dos in here. Finish OBJ loader and do I need to wrench the fluid pipe or anything? Because I can't get the fluid from the pump in a machine. What are you doing wrong, Basti? No, you don't need to do anything like that. Look in Discord. Okay, I will look in Discord. Yeah, you need to just put pipes all the way around the fluid pump. It's a little bit broken. So just put pipes in all of the water blocks. Then it should work. I need to fix that at some point. I think I have a to-do for it. I should probably check though. Because if I don't, I will add that right now. Fluid pump. It's in the block entity actually, so it probably wouldn't be in here. To-do? I don't have a to-do for that. Sure. Let's add that then. To-do, fix. You know, I'll add it where it needs to go, which is in well, kind of this one. Yeah, kind of there. I don't know, actually, where it needs to go. Fix. Direction of fluid output. Versus where the pipe is placed. I don't know. Where the pipe, thinks, connection is. I don't know. I'll know what that means anyways. What item goes into the centrifugal thing? It is just concentrated something. I don't know. Just search concentrated and it'll come up. Concentrated cassiterite. That's it. I remembered. Yes. Where was I writing this to do? Oh yes. Finish OBJ loader and use that for rendering. You know, let's actually put this where it needs to go. Centrifugal. Oh, I gotta find the renderer now. Where's the renderer? Am I blind? Yes, I'm blind. That's great. Okay, and then in the block entity, not that one. Centrifugal. So in here, God, there's so many imports in this class. I'm gonna add a to-do to say No, not this class. It actually is in the... It actually was in here. I was correct. To do. Update voxel shape. There you go. Top 3 fast food places. Honestly, I don't really like fast food. Or at least, I don't hate fast food, actually. I just don't get fast food that often. But when I do, because I also do get fast food, it's just like, not often. So when I do... What's my top 3? That's kind of hard. Because it depends what mood I'm in. Like, I love a good Domino's, but I don't always love a Domino's. Sometimes I really don't want a Domino's. Or, you know, if we're ignoring price, I would always go KFC as my number 1. But KFC is so friggin' expensive nowadays. It's actually crazy. Like, it's so expensive. It's not even comparable to the rest. Subway. I quite like a Subway, but it's not my favorite. I find that Subway isn't very filling, really. Or at least it is whilst you're eating it, and shortly afterwards. But then it doesn't feel, you know, like you've actually eaten anything, because, well, you haven't really. You've just had a sandwich, basically. I'd put, if we're ignoring price, I'd put KFC. You guys are gonna hate me for this. I'd put KFC, Domino's, and then you know, the one time I had Wendy's, which was really recent, actually, like a week or so ago, and it was the first time I've ever had it, and it was really good. So I'm kind of battling with myself of whether I want to put that number 1, but I don't think I can really put that number 1 because I've only had it once. So I think I have to put KFC as number 1. Because it's good, man. It's good shit. 30 once I went to one award and took us to Saudi Arabia. A KFC burger was nearly... Yeah, it's really expensive. It's crazy. Wendy's is pretty good, especially the ice cream. I've never had the ice cream. All I had was... What did I have? I don't know. I had some, like, bacon burger of some degree. I don't know exactly what it was. And then I had, what do you call it? The loaded fries, I think they were called. What is this generic of? It's not. I'm going crazy. It's good to know. But yeah, that was really good. I don't know. I can't really put that as number 1 because I've only had it once. You guys are gonna roast me for this one. I've never had a Five Guys. Never. I don't know if we even have one, like, near me. I genuinely don't know that there is one. I mean, I've heard good things, don't get me wrong, but I've never had one. Five Guys overrated? I don't know. I've heard really good things about them, but I guess you would know, Basti, because you're the burger guy. The best burger I've ever had was In the UK, we have this, I want to say restaurant chain. I don't know if it's considered a restaurant per se. I guess it is. It is considered a restaurant. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, Called Stonehouse. I don't know that this is actually the one I'm looking for, is it? Yeah, it is. And they have a really freaking good burger. It's actually crazy. It's the best burger I've ever had. And I had it really recently. Like two and a bit weeks ago. It was so good. It's crazy. I don't know what else to say about it. It was just like the best burger I've ever had. One second. I thought something was missing. I don't have any music. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't have music. McDonald's is the exception for burgers? McDonald's has shit burgers. They're so bad. I mean, they're like, whilst you're eating them, you're like, yes, this is, you know, great and whatever. But afterwards, you're just like, why the fuck did I eat that? Like, it just, you know. I don't know what about them it is that does that, but... I've never had Five Guys, Wendy's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, In-N-Out, and Pizza Hut. Yeah, I've never had In-N-Out or Five Guys. I had Taco Bell once, and I got a burrito. I didn't even get a taco. I just haven't heard good things about the tacos, I can't lie. Admittedly, the burrito was really good. I'd highly recommend it. And I also had something else, I think. I don't know what it was. Because I didn't really know what I was doing, because I'd never been there before. I mean, I didn't even go there, I just ordered it, but, you know. You know what I mean. I need a multi-blockable, because it's a multi-block. A nice volcano burrito. I think that's what I had. I'm trying to remember. I think I had that, and I also got churros, and I highly regretted getting the churros because they were so incredibly mid. I've had much better churros, and they were just so friggin' mid. I was quite disappointed. But the burrito I had was really good. Churros are unavoidable? They bundle them. They do? I don't know. I just remember having them and it was mid. As I say, I've only been once, and I actually, I don't know why. Maybe I'll get it again, man. I think it might have been quite expensive. Might be why I haven't ordered it since. I don't know. Does anyone know what the price of Taco Bell is like? In the UK, ideally. Because I assume it's cheaper in the US, probably. Her title is equal Industria container title arc furnace. There we go. How would I have a custom parent whilst using the model provider? I think you just pass it in, no? Data gem. Model provider. you can register it like, yeah, you use a model, right? So like you have to create one of these. It's a whole thing. I don't know if they have like a method to... Huh. I'm surprised they don't have a method to just do a parent, I guess. I don't know. For blocks, I think it's the same, no? Yeah, you just have to use register. Huh. I thought there was one for just like yeah, here you go. Register parented. Beside fast food, fish and chips are still good if it's cod. Yeah, fish and chips are fire, man. But, well, I I say fish and chips are fire. I don't eat fish. So, just chips, I guess. Which kind of defeats the entire point of me saying that, actually. But yeah. I assume the fish is good too. This needs to be this multi-block positions. I almost forgot about that one. Title, there you go. New art furnace screen handler. Thank you, Copilot. That's good enough. We're gonna want the property delegate as well, so this dot property delegate. Okay. Let's create the storages. Private. Final. Oh, I was still doing my top 3, wasn't I? Also, oh yeah, it's important. So I'm gonna put. I think I have to put KFC. Well, I don't know if I can put KFC as number 1, man. It is just so expensive that it's like, it's hard to put as number 1. We need Wide here, because Wide's like a connoisseur of fast food. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the controversial decision of putting Domino's as number 1. And then I'm gonna put KFC as number 2. And then there's number 3. I feel like I'm missing something. But I don't know what. But in terms of fast food, guys, I am distracted. What am I missing? Where's the storage? I don't know what I'm missing. I'm just gonna say the number 3. See, I want to put McDonald's at number 3, but that's terrible because I don't have McDonald's like ever. You know what? Fine. I'd put McDonald's at number 3 just for the breakfast menu. I don't really care about the daytime menu. It's mid. But breakfast menu, fire. Absolutely fire. Is that a thing? Yes, that is a thing. I absolutely love the McDonald's breakfast menu. Partially just because I am a massive fan of hash browns, but you know, the muffin stuff are really good too, so. Okay, let's do this. So, this is where things are going to get a little bit complicated. So, how do we want to do this? If we're going to have a mode, right, okay. Let me turn my music down because it's getting loud. If we're having a mode, let's create an enum for the mode, right? So let's create a public enum. Let's do, what should we call it? I'm just gonna call it mode. So then we have smelting, we have alloying, we have recycling. And this has, Copilot's trying to give none. Do we want a none mode? I don't think so. I don't think we want that. This needs to implement string identifiable. I think that's the one we want. Private final string name. Locale dot root. Let's do string name, and then I can just do this, that, like that. Oh, I can't do that because name hasn't been right. Fine. So then we can do this dot name is equal name like that. And then as string, just be this dot name. And then I want to have a get name. And then we'll have a from string as well. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Then we need some other methods as well. So we need write MBT. We need read MBT. We're going to want our ports method as well, which we'll come back to. We're going to want the methods to get all of these. But yeah, we'll come back to those as well. Okay. Let's do this. So, question, how does this work? Yeah, see, I set it up so the sided inventories is a pair. Right, it's a list of pairs. Oh, God. I don't know why I didn't make it a map. Why didn't I make it a map? I'm guessing I didn't make it a map so that I preserve the order? Would be a guess? I think that's true. Well, either way, I would like to make this a list of T. Why are the matrices for bears all upside down? They just are. I don't know what to tell you. Because that's how the models are exported. Okay, this creates the list every single time. I don't want it to do that. I want to add it if it already exists. So what we could do, let's do this. Let's do public static well, public record entry, which gets us a direction, and at nullable, direction, and a list of T, which extends simple inventory, a list of T inventories like that. That's kind of annoying, but alright. It shouldn't really affect anything, I don't think. There's light outside in the UK now. There is, yes. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, man. In the middle of the summer, you think at 8 o'clock there wouldn't be any light? Basti, you are pushing to a new stack, right? Like, you're pushing and then... Oh no, actually, I guess that wouldn't make a difference, but... Never mind. Ignore me. Thought it was later. Oh. Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock. Well, it's not even 8 o'clock, yeah. What is this? Is this what I want? Or is it lying to me? No. It's confused because, I mean, me personally, I would fit the matrices after rendering the model. You can do that if you want, Basti, but that does mean you will have to change everything. So if you want to do that, I don't mind. But yeah, that does mean you would have to change, you know, everything. Okay. What is schnitzel? I have no idea what schnitzel is. Okay, if it equals side, then... No, if none match of that side, then it adds... it's a German chicken or meat? I've never heard of it, I'll be honest. I guess we don't have whatever that is in the UK. This needs to be entry. There we go. Yeah, I know what doner is, yeah. Funny enough, I tried to have, I bought some doner meat. Because I thought, you know, I'll give it a try. To see, you know, obviously not from an actual, like, you know, just from, like, a normal shop, right? Just from, like, you know, whatever. I think I got it from Iceland. It was absolutely terrible, man. Do not buy frozen friggin' doner meat. Do not do it, ever. I highly, do not advise. It tasted so bad. But anyways, that's my mini rant about that shit. Yeah, okay. So now we can add multiple inventories. I actually wonder if that's broken anything, though, before I continue. Let's find out. Let's do private final list of block pause multi-block positions is equal to a new array list. We don't have the screen handler. Let's just return no. There we go. And then we'll build. Okay, let's see. Yep, I've broken something. So we got entry. Like that. Can I just do this or no? I can just do that. That saved me a little bit of effort, doesn't it? I think that's probably actually the only time I used that. But we'll have a look. Try again. Hello, Agent Cryo. Welcome to the stream. Okay, that compiled, so that's kind of what I wanted anyways. What was I just doing? Oh, yes, I was adding the inventories. How's it going again? Everything is going pretty well. We've somehow gone for an hour and only written the base arc furnace code. We haven't even done any logic yet. Because I've been yapping on about friggin' fast food. But here we are. This is how things go. Anyways, so what we need to do, we need to add effectively 3 input inventories, I think. Or you know what? You know what, chat? What we could do we could make it so it can smelt multiple things at once. It can alloy multiple the same recipe multiple times at once, maybe. And it can recycle multiple items at once. I think that would be a good idea. And that way we don't have to have multiple different inventories. We just have the same thing. So that does kind of mean that I have to undo all of this. There we go. And then I have to fix the client wrapped inventory storage to be back to how it was. That couldn't just be that as well. Oh, it can't? Huh. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that, because then what we can do is we can just add a single inventory. So this.wrapped inventory storage.add inventory, a new... do we have just like an input inventory? Or, I guess it's just a syncing thing. Sure. Which takes in this, and then it will have a size. What do we want the size to be? Should we just do 3 by 3? I think that's the easiest solution. Yeah. We'll do that. So we'll have a size of 9. And then we need to give it direction. So I'm going to have the direction be... I mean, I don't know exactly where I want it to be right now. I don't want it to be up. I know that for certain, because up is going to be kind of all the electrical stuff. Let's make it for west. Let's make it west. And I think that makes sense once we do the model. I kind of have a model of what it's going to look like in my head. So yeah, that's what we'll kind of aim for. So then we need to add the output, right? So I don't know that I necessarily want the output to be the same size as that, or do we? I guess it needs to be. But either way, I want that on the south side. There you go. And then we have the energy storage. So the energy storage is probably going to come in on the east side. And then oh, this is not correct. That's absolutely not correct. Sinking energy storage, I think, is the one we want. Let me just check. Yes, that is the one we want. So we want a capacity. It's going to need a really high capacity. This has 1 million. But to be honest, we're probably going to want like 100 million. Just because it's going to run for a long time, right? The recipe is going to run for a long time. And it's going to consume a lot of energy as it runs. So just going for like a reasonably high number, I think, is a good idea. And if we max the input at like 1 million, this is the kind of machine that you're probably going to want nuclear for, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll come back to that shortly, maybe. I kind of do want to do nuclear at some point. Some point in the near future, so we'll come back to that when we're there. But wrap fluid storage, we're going to add storage. We're going to do a new input fluid storage. This, and then what does it want? A predicate or a capacity? Okay. So we'll go fluid constants dot bucket, and let's go. How much water do we want this to hold? It won't hold a lot, admittedly. Because basically the water is just going in to like the... Like, I have this reference here. Let me bring it up. Properties. Boom. And then let me find the size so I can edit that real quick. And then by 80. Okay, and I think it's not visible or something. There you go. So you can kind of see the... You can't see where my mouse is, but you can kind of see like the blue dots, right? Now let me make it a little bit bigger. So you can see, but I can't point to it either. Can I point to it, actually? 1 second. Okay, you see... wait, no, wrong way. But my camera's flipped. That's not gonna work. Oh, I'm behind it. Where am I behind it? Oh, I see, because it's in the wrong place. Which needs to be... that also means it's behind chat, but you know what, that's fine. Okay, so hit... No, wait. I gotta sense my direction. 1 second. No. Okay, yes. That's where I need to point. And then move myself. So you see here, right? These blue dots, right? So these are the water, right? So the water goes all the way around. This is so silly. The water goes all the way around the top here, and it also goes up here apparently as well. So effectively, it's not storing a lot of water, or I say water. There could be any cooling fluid really. We're just saying it's water for now because that's all we have. So, what do you mean the vertically flipped is normal? You do it in the industrial block entity renderer? Yes, but you have to, because otherwise the model would be upside down. So we don't have a choice. I'm just gonna say 5 buckets, anyways. We might come back to that. Probably more than that, actually. We'll go 10 buckets. Well, but then only flip it for the model. But I can't. I have to flip it for the entire render method. If you want to do something that's not using those transformations, then you need to use the other render method. Nope, not this one. Industria block entity renderer. You need to use post render. That's it. Because at that point, the matrices have been popped. Will I be able to make a new method render model? I mean, it is post render though, right? Because render is for rendering the model. So I think that makes sense. The only thing with post render is that's after the wireframe has been rendered, which I don't have at the moment. But when I will have it, then yeah, that might not work so well. Okay, but you'll have to do the other transformations, bestie. You have to translate, and you're gonna have to rotate as well. The only thing you don't want is this. That's literally it. So you're still gonna have to translate. You're still gonna have to do these rotations, so the matrices is still going to be scuffed, right, because you're still rotating it 180 plus whatever the facing direction will be. The only difference is the axes won't be flipped. Anyways, input gas storage, which will take in this, and then it needs to take in an amount. Now this is going to be similar to fluid, so we'll do fluid constant dot bucket, and we'll say maybe like 5 buckets. That will not be the down direction though. If we look at the example or the diagram, it comes in from the little like tube at the top right-ish. So we'll put it I don't know where we put it. Where's the fluid again? Oh, we haven't decided where we want the fluid yet. Let's put the fluid in on the left side, and then we'll also have the gas in on the left side as well. So that would be east. Oh, that's where the energy comes in, though. That's fine. That's fine. We have enough surface area for that to work. Okay, then that's it. So that's all of the inventories and all of the energy, fluid, gas, etc., etc. This is all fine. So now let's do these. This isn't correct. So this needs to be syncable storage. Inventory storage is going to be get input inventory. Input. So what I would do is set up transform and facing, push, rotate vertically. I have no idea what you're saying, Basti. Bro's completely lost it. I see. Sure, I guess that makes sense. But I'm not going to go and fix that right now. Because that's going to take a while to go through all the machines and fix that. And then with this guy porting it to 1.2 and 1.8 at the same time, where the entire mod is just going to be a little bit all over the place. But anyways, write MBT, read MBT. What was I gonna do here? Oh yes, public, syncing simple inventory, get inventory. We need the other one first, actually. Public inventory storage, get inventory provider. Direction side, which will do that. This needs to be get storage. Then we need to do energy storage. Not like that though. So this is thinking energy storage, get energy provider. This is a Oh, I see. And that's fine. Never mind, that's not fine. That's not going to work. This needs to be get. And then get the output. And then we energy. This can be get energy provider though. Fluid storage, gas storage. This is an input fluid storage, and this is an input gas storage. And then we just need to cast both of these. We don't need to do this, but it just is the easiest thing to do. And then we can do this and return it as the list. Nice. Next, we need to store a few variables. So we need the private mode, which is equal mode.smelting. We need a private registry key of a recipe, I think. Current recipe ID. We need a private int progress and max progress. We need... Do we need anything else? I don't think we need anything else, no. Okay. So then we can read and write all the MBT. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I like to actually do it like this, so I like to capitalize. We'll come back to the current recipe ID actually, because that was always a pain in the butt. Okay, this isn't right. I'm gonna have to look at what are we looking for? We're looking for like mixer, and then in the mixer we are looking for no, not having you do this again. I've unplugged Alexa again. It was about to try and say something, but I managed to stop it this time. So if I look for the MBT, okay, here we go. So this, basically. And we're going to put inventory to this dot inventory storage dot write MBT to the registry lookup. Then we're going to put energy, fluid, gas. I think I usually call these like tank. There you go. And then we need the multi-block as well, which luckily I can copy from there. It's string. Let's map it to mode from string or else smelting, and then I can do that. That should be fine. Oh, but that throws an exception, which we don't want. What we want is an optional of mode, which we can return. Oh, we need to rename this to something else. Optional. We need to return from string. In fact, can we do optional? Nope, we cannot. Okay. There you go, we can do that. This is ignored. And then we can find our method, which is here, and say dot flat map from string optional, and then do or else smelting. So then that gets flat mapped to an optional of mode, and then we can say or else smelting mode. Nice and simple. We need the fallback. Let's get the reading code. Recipe ID. Recipe ID. There we go, just separate that. This needs to be get list or empty. Boom. Don't know why that did that. And then that one. And then get list. This needs to also, I think, be list or empty. Maybe not. Because it's the other way around. It's this and then that. There you go. Okay. Let's quickly go ahead and register all of these providers, because otherwise I'm going to forget, and then I'm going to wonder why it's not working. And it will take me ages to figure out. So, let's go ahead and do that first. Sawmill. Interesting. I don't think we're ever going to add a sawmill, I'm going to be honest, guys. At least I don't see why that would be a thing we add. But who knows, I guess. Okay, it's not really cooperating with me today, is it? There you go. Gas. Oh, this is the second one we have with gases. That's obviously not correct, Copilot. Let's just, you know, just think about it for a second there. Okay, item storage. It really wants to add a sawmill, huh? That's fun. Okay. I also wanted to add a blast furnace there. We'll get to that in the future, though. To adding our version of a blast furnace, anyways. We want a private final property delegate. Okay, that failed. Okay, so what's it done here? So mode, progress, max progress. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna want a set mode, admittedly. Well, no, we're not, I guess. Yeah, we're not. Because if that can do that, then that's fine. Question. Should this be here? Does this mean that the client could set the progress? Or is it, honestly, I don't know how property delegates work. I feel like I probably should know how they work, but I don't. Let's have a look at what vanilla does. Yeah, so vanilla just does... It lets it set them. These must be... Oh, these must be like for how it sets it on the client, right? So we're still going to want a set mode method, basically. So public void set mode. Then this needs to call update. That's fine, because we'll do that from a packet anyways. Yeah, that's fine. What I will just say is if this.world is equal null, or world is client will return, so that only happens if we're on the server side. It won't try to perform like an update on the client or anything. Yeah, we'll come back to this little bugger in a second as well. Yeah, that's fine. Mode progress, max progress, mode progress, max progress. Am I missing anything, chat? I don't think so. Obviously, we have get ports to do, but I am purposely leaving that one out. And then we also have find positions. Let's do find positions, shall we? Get that done and dusted. So let's go find something that already has them. Let's go with the mixer. And try and find our find positions method. Here it is. So this let's do this and then we can see exactly how tall it will be. So this needs to be 4. Wait, no, this needs to be... Yes, that's fine. Plus 4. Let's just change these to 1 so that we can figure this out. So these actually all need to be 2. And then that's it. Yeah. Wait, no, that would mean it's 5. That's not gonna work. It's 4 by 4. We can do 1 then, right? Yeah, we should be able to do that. I'm wondering if we should just make this 0. And then maybe make this 3. Sure, I think that's fine. That'll make it 4 there, 4 there, 5 there. So that's fine. Okay. We're almost done with, like, this bullshit. I'd like to change... Oh my god, I'm losing it, man. I'm really losing it here. I'm trying to find a freaking method, and I can't find it. And it's getting on my nerves. Bro, where is it? There it is. I found it. I was looking for this. Okay. So. Let's do... Once again, I'm going to kind of copy this. There you go. So, then what we can say is if the offset... I need to look at the input. Does anyone know? Is it possible to duplicate a editor window? Is that possible? Like if I want to have 2 versions of this open? Because I want to look at 2 different parts of the file at the same time. Open tab in new window. Aha! That's what I wanted. Okay. So now what I can do in this other window is I can scroll up to the constructor and I can find where I've added all the slots. Oh, okay. Zooming out changes it on both of them. So you guys might have to put up with this for a second so that I can see everything. Okay, so we're going to do the west side first. Yeah, that's fine. So let me just have a look at the mixer again. Okay. Hello 7410, welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm late. Better late than never. That is what they say. Okay, so what we can do is we can say if the offset from primary dot get x, which one's x? Okay, x is east and west. That's what I thought. So if the x is equal, I'm trying to think, 4, I think. Oh no, I guess the offset would be 3, right? Let me bring this to my other monitor as well, so that I can look at both of them. Yeah, so if the x is 3, oh, also you can split right and you can look at 2 parts of the file in the same window. Oh, you can? Oh, you can. Look at that. I didn't even see those ones. No, actually, that's probably a good idea to do for this one. So then we can see what this does in here. So if the X is free and direction is equal is equal west. So west would be the input. So transfer type dot item. And then south is the output. That's item. And then no, so this needs to be Z is equal 3, I believe. And then we have east, so X is equal 0, and direction is east. Then we have energy. And then we have the same thing here, so let's do this. So X is equal 0. We want this, so we want east, we're going to put energy, fluid, gas. Yeah, that's correct. So all of those will go in the east direction. And then that's it. I think that's it for the ports. Now, I think we're going to have to change all of this, I believe, at some point, because I don't think this is relative to the facing of the block. I don't think. But I'm not sure. Well, I mean, we'll see when we get in the game, really. Because it's either going to work one way around or it's not. So, we'll see. The only thing left to do is the tick method. But I want to leave that for a second so that we can get the screen handler done. So let's go screen handler, create a new class. Let's do arc furnace screen handler extends Industria screen handler of the block entity class, so arc furnace block entity, and then the block pos payload. Implement the methods. Inventory size is going to be 18. The get valid blocks is going to return a list of block init dot arc furnace. We'll come back to add block entity slots. Now, which ones do we want here? Well, we definitely want this one. And then we want this one. Okay. So the type will be screen and I type init dot arc furnace. This will be screen handler type init dot arc furnace. This will go, and this will become free. Okay, and then this class will go, and this will be alloy, not alloy, arc furnace block entity class. Like that. Okay, I think that's everything. We need to add it in here. Oh, let's scroll back in so you guys can see again. There we go. Screen handler type of arc furnace screen handler. Boom, that's done. I think this has this before that or something. I think it has the pause. There you go, yeah. Alright. That's that. This, I'm just going to use this for random storage just to, so that's a little bit more readable. Add block entity slots. Let me open something else. There we go. Just put this on my other monitor, and I can check that I have everything. By convention, I've been keeping this one at the top, so I'll keep that there as well. And then we just want the progress things, so luckily I can just copy these in. Those are exactly the same. I fixed the volume in the shaker, by the way. Nice, very nice. Okay. So to add the slots, but for the centrifuge, the BE doesn't have a recipe list. It's just the item in the input slot, Basti. That's it. It's just whatever item is in the input slot. That's the recipe. Yeah, it's a single item, but you might want to render it as multiple items. As if it's like... Because the idea is that it's basically like it's split up into multiple items. So I don't know, maybe like 5 of them? I mean, I would have to kind of play around and see what looks best, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, we can't really add the slots until we have a GUI, right? So we'll come back to this. We'll create a GUI class. Or should we just create the texture first? Let's create the texture. Yeah, we'll create the texture first because that just makes the most sense. So what is the best one to base this off of? I would say... NC.get input inventory.get stacking slot 0. Yes, that is correct, Basti. Let's go with... I think we're going to want this one. I think it's going to be the closest to what we want, but we're still going to have to modify this a lot. So let's get layers open because I'm going to use those. Okay, so let's create a new layer. Let's take this off of that layer and just, you know, actually I'm going to take all of these off of that layer so that I can mess around with them. So like that. We actually don't want any of these. I'm just going to delete these. But these... Boom. 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 I'm going to put them on there. By the way, you can't use tick delta as a delta time. It's very different. Oh. To be honest, I didn't know what tick delta did. I just assumed it was the, the delta between frames, right? I don't know if we're going to want this energy bar here or not. I'm not sure. We'll come back to that one. So effectively what we want is this. And then like this. And then like this. Good night. I forgot how to say your name again. Good night. Let's go with that. Here we go. So we want a 3x3 input. Oh shit, I accidentally removed the arrow. Let's grab the arrow back. There you go. We're gonna want that. And then we're gonna want another one. Another 3x3, that is. Like that. That's gonna very tightly fit in. Very, very tightly fit in. Okay. Oops. Oh my god, I cannot select this stupid thing. Okay, so effectively it's going to be this. Now these are going to need to move and change. I'm going to get rid of the item slots for these ones. And I think I'll make them horizontal bars instead of vertical, maybe? So like, basically these. Oops. So it'll be something like this. The 3x3 grids are not on the same height. They aren't? Oh, they aren't. You're correct. There we go. Okay, and then this needs to move over here. That's now not going to be on the same height anymore, though, is it? It is. Damn. Okay, I think these should be a little bit taller, right? Although the player inventory label needs to go here, so we have to keep that in mind. I think it goes here. So I can probably make them a little bit taller. Like maybe 1, 2. And if I do that for both of them, that's quite a bit. Okay. Paste. And then move it upwards. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll move it down a bit. Something like that. So they could probably go a little bit taller, but that'll do for now. Anyways. Let's take this arrow. And I'm going to put it on its own layer. Because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to center that on this area. Oh my god, that's not lined up properly. When did this happen? Does it need to be like that? It does, right? I believe. I'm not sure. I think so, though. I don't think this is quite correct, but I can come back to that. It's better than how it was. Which is the important thing. I think to fix it, I just need to do that. Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Anyways, let's do this again. And let's go adjustments, and what we can do, no, effects, object, align object. Here we go. And we want to align it, well, both ideally, so it's completely centered. Okay. And then all we have to do is move these to now be centered with this. Now, admittedly, this doesn't look vertically centered, does it? I think I've messed something up there because that doesn't look vertically centered. I think it needs to move up. You know what I can do, actually, is I can do this. Like that, and then do effects, object, align object, and then align it vertically. There we go. So now that's like that. Now, I don't think these are centered. So let's figure out why not. So that's 6 to the edge. And this is 6 to the edge. Okay, that's actually fine then. How many is this to the edge? That's 4 to the edge. That's 4 to the edge. Okay, those are fine. Yeah, that's fine. Somewhere though there needs to be a button, which is going to be a toggle for the mode. So we need to know where that's going to fit in somehow. I'd like to have the energy vertical rather than as a horizontal bar like the fluids. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna move it this way a little bit. And then I'm gonna move this. Okay. Oops, don't do that. Need to do that on here. So I don't know exactly what the distance is between here and here. So that would be 5. That's more than 5. That's 7. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, That's fine. And then what I can do is get rid of this. And then grab that from here. Like that. That needs to move down though. We'll make it in line with these. I mean, it needs to move up one. I honestly cannot tell if this is horizontally aligned or not. It is. Okay. What do we think about this being the same height as these? Should that be the same height? I think it probably should, yeah. So what we can do is just grab like that. Once again, I cannot tell if that's aligned or not. It is. Perfect. Let me actually grab this for a second and move it onto this layer. And then go back to this layer and just fill that in. Okay. So that's our energy bar. Now what that means is that we can move this entire thing up. Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, can I select both layers? No. Okay. Fine. Then I can do that. It doesn't need to be this wide, does it? Well, I guess it does actually, because we're going to want a button somewhere. I don't know where. I think what I will do is I will grab these. No, so I need to select it all the way to like that. And then I'll move them like that. And then I'm going to grab these. And move them left like that. Okay. And I want to make them a little bit taller as well. But we can do that in a second. Because I think more importantly, we should now be able to fit that within this area and not have it be this like extended thing. So if I do that, let's do, oops, that, and then let's paste it in here. It might be too tall. Yeah, it's too tall, but that's fine. So what we can do is we can add it on a new layer. Ah, Wide, you're finally here. I can't believe you, Wide. I can't believe you haven't been watching the stream. It's very disappointing. Yeah, I needed your opinion on fast food. Yeah, tell us your top 3 fast food, Wide. It's a very important question. Domino's, McDonald's, Subway. Damn. We kind of agree. I put, what did I say, guys? Does anyone remember what I said? I said, Domino's, KFC, McDonald's, I think, is what I said. Background music is gone. No, it hasn't. It's in a, like, silent section. Yeah, I said, yeah, Domino's, KFC, McDonald's. But KFC, they are so good. It's actually crazy. But it's so expensive. That's why I couldn't put it as number one. I had to mark it down because of the price. Because it's so expensive. I don't know why KFC is so expensive. It's kind of crazy. Subway, Taco Bell, pizza tonight. I might have Taco Bell again. Because I don't really remember what it was like. Like, I vaguely remember the burrito I had was good. I don't know that it was anything to, like... Yeah, I don't know. Basically, everything I've understood about Taco Bell is don't go for the tacos. Which is kind of funny. Subs are pretty good, but my problem with subs is just they're not that filling. They fill you up like initially, but afterwards it's like, yeah, it kind of just goes. Get footlong every time. Yeah, I always get footlong. Who would go to Subway and only get a 6-inch? That's crazy. My mum used to only go there and get 6-inch, but she's recently realised that there is no point doing that. Like, even if you don't eat it, just put it in the fridge. You know? But yeah. Anyways, I think this is basically what I wanted. What other things does Taco Bell actually do? They do quite a lot. They do tacos, of course. They do burritos. They do are they called quesadillas? I think they're called. They do other stuff as well, but I don't think the other stuff is as good. They do churros. They give you churros with everything, apparently. But yeah, I've only had it once, so I don't know. I had Chipotle one time when I was in the USA. Got to change the title to fast food talk. No, I am actually doing stuff, you see, bestie. Even though that is what we're talking about. We're actually done with this now. Arc Furnace. I've never had Chipotle. I don't even know if we have Chipotle in the UK. Let me Google it real quick. UK Chipotle. We do, apparently. Taco Bell's pricing is good too. Last time me and the family went, 4 people, it was 34. That's pretty good, actually. If a family of you went to KFC, family of 4 going to KFC, you'd be paying like 80 quid. Even Domino's, like 4 people getting Domino's is like, I mean, that's got to be like 50 quid or something. Now, but I got 3 box meals from KFC and it cost like 45. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive. I genuinely have no idea. Part of me says it's worth it, but the other part of me is like, is it worth it? It's good. Like, KFC's good. I just don't know that it's that good. The problem I have with KFC is that you you pay a lot for not a lot. So, you know, you could get like not much and you would get something, but you wouldn't get much. Like, you don't have to spend a lot, you just won't get a lot. That's the problem with it, really. um where are we at? Oh, I closed the thing. I didn't mean to close it, guys. I'm just bringing Dingle back. Because we need to look at slot position. So most importantly, get player inventory Y will start at 119. 190. Have you done the model for the arc furnace yet? No, I have not. Turkey might get takeaway at this rate. not tonight. I've already had dinner tonight. I had a ready meal because I went to have friggin' doner kebab meat that I got from Iceland, and it was the shittiest thing I've ever had. So I was just like, fuck it. I really can't be asked to actually cook something, so I just cooked a friggin'. I just put a friggin' ready meal in the microwave and was done with it. But Iceland is so shit. I know, they are. They actually are. It's kind of crazy. You would think for a shop that exclusively does frozen shit, that they would actually have good frozen shit. But they really, like, it's kind of crazy. Also, they're kind of expensive. Iceland is quite expensive. What am I doing? What am I doing? Chat. I'm getting the input inventory. Input inventory. No, it's just a syncing. Simple inventory. Input inventory. The only thing I regularly-ish get from Iceland is the frozen Gregg sausage roll. That's true. They do have those. I actually have some of those in the freezer. You know what, Wyatt? I kind of want those now. You've given me a craving for Gregg sausage rolls. After the stream, I might be putting those in. I don't know how you cook them. I can probably do them in the air fryer, I guess. It's kind of funny. They're actually good though. Anyways, wait, how do you do this? You do a new slot, don't you? Slot, input inventory. Yeah. I got it, chat. Don't worry. The index is the... Is it just me, or sometimes people just get that appetite for greasy food? I think that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Um, like for sure, definitely. 26 plus x times 18, and then the y is 18 plus y times 18. And I don't need any of that. So. Honestly, I don't really... I wouldn't say that I get an appetite for greasy food often. Like, sometimes. I don't know. I honestly don't have easy access to it. Also, is Raising Cane's in the UK? I've never heard of that. Oh, no, I maybe heard of it once. Wait, let me Google. Raising Cane. Oh, is this the one Lone Wolf goes on about all the time? Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Damn. I bet there's one in London. Is there? Locations. Nope, there is not. There's not a single one in the UK. Daddy, have you got a haircut? Yes, I have one. I forgot you weren't here when I said it, that I got a haircut earlier. Yes, I got a haircut. What do you think? I'm kind of mixed on it. I don't know if I like it or not. That makes sense. I did get it only a couple hours ago. I say a couple hours ago. I got it like... What time did I get it? I don't know, actually. About 12, I think. You look younger, not sure in a good bet. I guess that I kind of... I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that is. What are we doing, chat? You guys are losing my train of thought. We're creating the screen class. Yes, that's what we're doing. So I told you guys there was no way we're going to finish this today. Because we have a while, I guess. We have 15 minutes. But I want to end a little bit early so I can go have some Greg's sausage rolls. But yeah, arc furnace screen. Extend handled screen of arc furnace screen handler. Nice. Let's implement the methods. Draw background, and I also want init. Can I not override init? No. Okay. Init, and we also want friggin' render so that we can draw mouse over tooltip, context, mouse X, mouse Y. Yeah, we've been talking about, we talked about it for way too long earlier. You know, some people go back and actually watch the VODs of these. I don't know if they watch the whole thing, but I see comments come on these VODs afterwards quite often. So if anyone's watching this one, it's gonna, that would be quite funny. Because they're like half the stream and it's just us talking about fast food. I think VODs are boring, Loki. I like the chatting. Yeah, I get that. I don't think I could watch a VOD of... I mean, sometimes I would watch a VOD of a streamer, but it would have to be like a, I don't know, it would have to be a game, definitely. And it would have to be entertaining. I sometimes go back to Steel Code. Damn. Bro's a thief. That's crazy. Yeah, that one, and then the height is not 166 though. Let me have a look at the height. It is 201. And then just got player inventory title Y is equal that. 30 perhaps bring back the world preview widget from 30 lib. I have thought about that, but the thing is, I'm just not gonna use it. You know? At least I can't, at least for right now, there's nothing I want to use it for. You know, it's funny. That stream of developing that is actually somehow one of my most memorable streams. I don't know why. I don't know if it had a high view count or something, or if I just like remember it vividly for some reason. But I remember that stream like kind of crazily well. I don't know why, because it feels like such a random stream. Maybe it was just a period of time that I remember more, but that's probably more likely. I don't even know how long ago it was, right? It must have been ages ago. What am I looking for, chat? I'm looking for the code to draw the progress. What do I want to get that from? I want to get that from the... Why can I not find it? You know what the alloy screen will do? This dot handler dot progress. Progress scale. Okay, and then I just changed the X and Y position. So the X position is 83, and the Y position is 37, and then everything else is the same. I go back all the time. Why? Why do you go back all the time? I'm quite curious. Because I never go back to any of my old streams or videos or anything. The only time, it's funny actually, because sometimes I do admittedly go back to some of my tutorials. Because if I forget how to do something that I've already done in a tutorial, then that is actually kind of useful to me sometimes. When is the next video releasing, bro? Well, I was meant to record it today. Well, actually, I initially planned to record it yesterday. But then I completely forgot about it. And then today, I don't even know what I've done today, but I feel like I've been busy today. I don't think I have been busy. But yeah, I just haven't recorded it yet, to be honest. So I'm gonna have to record it tomorrow because I said I would get it out this week. Do you go back to the tutorial or the code from the tutorial? Usually I go back to the tutorial itself, yeah. But each day is such a blur, I have no idea what I've done for the past. Well, that's some real shit right there, Wide. That is some real shit. These need to be in the constructor, actually, which is why that's looking weird. Okay. I need to do the energy widget. Add, I think it's a child, and then energy widget dot builder. Which takes in the energy storage. This dot handler dot get block entity got energy storage. I went about 1/10 the speed of sound today. That's pretty fast, man. Right? I guess actually not really. That's like, you probably go that speed in a plane, right? I actually don't know. Anyways, bounds. So the bounds are, I'm gonna look at the texture again. X plus 8 and 18. And then the width and height are, where am I looking? 12 by 50. Planes go way faster. But I don't know what the speed of sound is. You think I know what the speed of sound is? How am I meant to know what the speed of sound is, Basti? Come on now. These are all fine. And then build. Which it doesn't like, because I'm guessing this just needs to be add durable. Like that. So that gets us our energy widget. Then we have the fluid widget as well. So add durable, new fluid widget dot builder, which takes in this dot handler. Get block entity dot get fluid storage. And then dot bounds. Okay, so I'm looking at the bounds for this first one. Actually, I'll do the. We'll have the fluid at the bottom. So that is 26. This dot x plus 26. This dot y plus 94. Then it's 138 and 10. Pos supplier will be this dot handler dot get block entity get pos. and then got build. Now, I thought I added a thing in here for the orientation. But I must have imagined doing that, I guess. Unless I added it in one of the other ones. Oh, I added orientation to the energy widget. I see. Ah. Bugger. Let me do this real quick. And then do new class, orientation. Oops. And then do vertical, horizontal. What's happened to TurtleLib? Do you still... No, honestly, I've just ditched. I've ditched TurtleLib. It's still on, I think, 1.15. It's just kind of a pain in the ass, man. Like having to go back to a lib and then change it in the lib, and then you have to update the lib, and then you have to push the lib to whatever Maven you have. It's just so much extra effort. And I mean, right now, I already have everything that's in the lib in here. Well, apart from like some widgets and stuff. But most of those are widgets that would need complete rewrites if I were to bring them here. So, you know. One related problem. This needs to be orientation.horizontal. There you go. World preview widget for the drill, perhaps. I don't think it would be in the drill, no. Because the way you would use the drill is by using the seismic scanner. So, if anything, it would go in the seismic scanner. Which at some point I need to come back to, but it's very scary, man. Because the rendering for that thing was a pain in the butt. It was actually horrible. I spent so long, and then fucking Mojang just decided, nope, we're just gonna completely rewrite our rendering system. So all my code just gone. Which, yeah, pain in the butt, but I'll probably come back to it someday and probably kind of maybe rethink the actual idea itself. And just come up with something else. I don't know what else it will be, but yeah. Where are we at? We are... I don't need this anymore. Okay. So we've added the fluid widget. Oh, yes, we wanted to add the orientation. Right. So let's go into here. Okay. So, what we want is we want a private final orientation. And then we want that in the constructor. So orientation. So orientation is equal orientation. Now, wait. Oh no, that's fine. I just need to change this, right? So that's the height, and then this is the width here. Okay. That's fine. So what I can do with bar height, I need this. So I need float percentage is equal to that. No, I don't actually need that there. I need that. We'll do it down here. Okay. So then I need in fill X, fill Y, fill width, fill height. If orientation is equal orientation dot vertical. Oops. Let's see if this has done it right. So height times percentage, fill X is equal X, fill Y is equal Y plus da 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 da. Fill width is equal that. Yep. Okay. So then this, in theory, should just be fill X, fill Y, fill width, fill height. Wait, does this want the width or does this want the X2? Yeah, it just wants the width, okay. Is the railroad stream still on for tomorrow, please? It is. I haven't scheduled it, though. I did mean to schedule it, actually. I meant to schedule it before I scheduled this one. I just forgot, to be honest. But yes, it is still on for tomorrow. Because somehow that stream did insanely well. Much better than I expected it to do. So yes, that will be on tomorrow. I think what we're going to probably do kind of going forward is I think we're going to have Industria stream followed by a railroad stream. Right? So it'll be Industria stream one day, the next day it'll be railroad stream. And I think, be able to keep that up for a while. I don't, I'm not guaranteeing forever, because obviously I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, that should be doable, I think. Draw tooltip is going to be different, isn't it? No, it's not, actually. Will you have time if you get a job to keep streaming? I don't see why not. I mean, it's an evening thing, right? Or I can just do it at weekends, right? So, you know, Saturday industrial stream, Sunday railroad stream. Or it might end up being the other way around. It might be railroad then industrial, it might be industrial then railroad. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see why not. That should be able to happen. We want organization.horizontal. Perfect. Now we need to do the same thing with the gas widget. So, and ideally the slurry widget as well. So let's do that with those. So let's put this here. Oops, I'm typing in the wrong place. Private final orientation. Okay, and then orientation. This orientation is equal orientation. Let's move these to be. So that's the color. So then we want long gas capacity. We want float percentage. About the world preview widget, since in sometimes you're just rendering the texture, it might be easier in 1.21.8. I honestly have no idea. And I actually don't remember how I actually like implemented it. I'm honestly not sure how I actually implemented it, so. But I suspect it's a pain in the butt, if I'm being honest. Let me do this. This for height. And then I can just get rid of something. So I can do that, do that, do that. That saves me actually a lot. I'm going to do that in the other one as well. I've got I've got them flipped around here. Can I invert if? And then just change this to equals vertical. There we go. But yeah, sure, if you want to try and port it, that's fine. I honestly, I don't think I'm going to use it for anything. I don't see that happening, but select fill Y, select plus fill width, fill Y. Yeah, I don't really see myself using it, but I guess you never know, right? Fill width. Fill height, fill X, Y. I'm actually going to do the same in the other ones. And in the energy widget as well. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy that. And then that'll just tell me I can get rid of these as well. Just cleans it up a little bit. Not a huge difference, it's just a little bit cleaner. This is complaining because we don't have the orientation, so let's add that in here. Orientation, orientation, and orientation. I don't know why that had that. Perfect. Finally, we have the slurry widget as well. So let's just do that quickly in here. I say quickly, we can only do it so fast. So, orientation, orientation. Okay, like that. Then these two go bye-bye. And down here, I can go long, slurry capacity, float percentage. Okay. Honestly, amount is actually kind of fine. This can just be capacity. And then, yeah, this can be exactly the same. So I can just copy that in. And then that will be exactly the same. And then I just need to change this to that. And then I need to add it in here. So orientation, orientation, and orientation. And then I can just copy this. I can change this to gas widgets. Get gas storage. And then, oh, we haven't done a recipe. I kind of thought we were going to get close to having something today, but we're not, unfortunately. Let's just see the Y position of this other one, which is Y80. And the rest is all perfectly fine. Yep, so that's all the widgets, at least for now. We are going to want a to-do, add, triple toggle button for the mode. And yeah, that's going to take a while to do that one, so we're going to leave that one out for now. I mean, I could use possibly the select enum button, but the way I designed this was so it's a button with like a tooltip rather than kind of what I want, which is like a switch, but it switches between them, so it's like 3 stages. So I think we'll come back to that and possibly do that next time. Because that's going to take a while. We're going to have to create an entire new widget for that one. Effectively a toggle button, but yeah, with 3. Let's register the screen, because otherwise I'm going to forget to do that, and then we're going to wonder why that doesn't work. So we'll do that real quick. So I can't find it. I can't find it. Chat, I cannot see it. There it is. That took me a while. Handle screens. Hopefully it can figure it out. Nice. Perfect. The other thing is we'll quickly go ahead and register a renderer as well. So block entity renderer factories.register and arc furnace block entity renderer, which we'll go ahead and create. Obviously we don't have a model yet, but we might as well have, you know, a renderer in place. So systems Industria block entity renderer of arc furnace block entity, and then implement the methods, which is just on render, add the constructor, and that's it, I think. Pretty sure. Obviously this doesn't have anything in it for now, and luckily this isn't going to have any like complex animations, but we are going to be doing some shader stuff with this one. I have some pretty cool ideas for this one. So we're going to render a fluid. We are going to render an item as well, but it's not like there's no like physics happening or anything. The item is going to like move along a conveyor, so that'll be just simple, basic translation. The fluid will just render, like, it'll have a height, sure, but that's it. I might need to steal the thing Basti did for the centrifugal thing for that, although I might also steal him to change something about that soon, so that might be irrelevant. But it should be pretty simple, this one. Other than the shader stuff, that's going to be very complex. I don't know whether I should tell you guys or leave it as a surprise until we've done it. I think we'll leave it as a surprise for now. Yeah, I'm gonna make you guys wait for that one. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can wait. Anyways, I am gonna end the stream here, because there's not much we can do with, you know, only 15 minutes left, because it takes me too long to do absolutely anything. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. There'll be another railroad stream tomorrow. Same time as usual. Well, I say usual time, I've been changing it recently. Probably 6 o'clock at GMT or BST, GMT or BST? I have no idea. UK time, 6 o'clock UK time. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Good. Bye.